Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at one of the most wildly anticipated arrivals in the electric vehicle space right now, the 2026 Cadillac Vistiq. This thing is generating massive buzz, promising this ultimate blend of high-end luxury, sprawling space, and serious electric performance. But, we have to ask, is it actually the right fit for your garage, or are there some hidden compromises lurking under the hood? Okay, let's dive into this. 3.7. That is the staggering 0 to 60 miles per hour time of this massive family SUV. Just let that sink in for a second, right? We are talking about a hefty 3-row crossover that can launch off the line fast enough to literally make your kids drop their iPads. It's a number that immediately demands attention and really sets the stage for a seriously powerful electric vehicle.
So here is our roadmap for the Explainer today. Number 1, we'll officially meet the Cadillac Vistiq. 2, we'll cover its strengths, power and luxury. 3, we'll dig into the weaknesses, range and price. And 4, we'll wrap it up with the final verdict.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Meet the Cadillac Vistiq, the Goldilocks option.
So, Cadillac basically slots the Vistiq perfectly into the sweet spot between the smaller Lyriq and the absolute behemoth that is the Escalade IQ. It utilizes the familiar GM Ultium platform, and by leveraging this specific architecture, the Vistiq pulls off a bit of a magic trick. It maintains this highly practical, relatively easy-to-maneuver mid-sized footprint on the outside, while somehow still managing to comfortably fit 6 to 7 passengers on the inside.
Moving right along to Section 2, Strengths, Power and Luxury. Impressive features.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what makes this such an attractive luxury package. Inside, Cadillac has built a truly premium environment. The second you sit down, you're greeted by this stunning 33-inch high-resolution curved display. You get standard Super Cruise for hands-free highway driving, which is a total game changer, plus 5-zone climate control to finally put an end to those backseat temperature arguments, rear seat USB-C ports, top-tier audio, and a whisper-quiet, incredibly well-insulated cabin. It's just a highly refined environment that makes long family road trips an absolute joy. And honestly, this commitment to a refined ride and a comprehensive overall package has already earned the Vistiq some very serious industry credibility. It was notably named a finalist for Motor Trend's 2026 SUV of the Year. That kind of early recognition in such a competitive segment is a huge signal. It tells us that Cadillac has built something that automotive experts are taking very, very seriously.
But it's not all perfect. Section 3, Weaknesses, Range and Price. Notable compromises.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it presents. On one hand, you get immense performance from a dual-motor setup pushing an unbelievable 615 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. But the trade-off is a peak fast charging rate hovering around 175 to 180 kilowatts. And to put that in perspective, that is noticeably slower than a lot of its direct competitors, which simply means you're going to be spending more time waiting around at the plug.
To really understand why those charging speeds matter, let's look at a relatable, real-world scenario reported by EV owners. Imagine you're out on a classic family summer road trip, right? You pull over to fast charge, but because you're experiencing extreme heat conditions outside, the vehicle's thermal management system is forced to work overtime just to keep the battery safe. Because of this, thermal limitations can actually throttle and slow down those charging speeds after the initial burst. So what was already a slightly slower peak charging rate might drag even more if you're traveling in a really hot climate.
And then, well, there is the cost. The Vistiq carries an estimated price tag ranging from $78,000 to well over $98,000, depending on how you spec it out. We really have to emphasize this high starting point. When you contrast this with cheaper 3-row electrified competitors like the Kia EV9, it absolutely forces you to question the overall value proposition. You are for sure paying a hefty premium for that luxury experience and the Cadillac badge on the grille.
Those compromises also extend a bit into the tech and driving dynamics. The Vistiq relies heavily on built-in Google software, and crucially, it actually lacks Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on some trims, which is a big deal for a lot of buyers. Reviewers also note the software ecosystem can feel a bit less intuitive than, say, Tesla's. Plus, despite all that massive horsepower, the handling heavily leans towards soft comfort rather than tight sportiness. This all really matters because the EV market is cutthroat right now. It's facing fierce competition from the Volvo EX90, the Lucid Gravity, the Rivian R1S, and the Hyundai Ioniq 9, all of which are competitors offering exceptional tech, range, and efficiency.
All right, let's bring it all together. Section 4, the final verdict. So, the crucial point is how this all balances out in the end. As you can see, performance, interior, and tech, comfort and ride, and overall practicality all easily earn an impressive 4 stars. The car is beautifully made. However, range and charging drop to 3 stars due to those slower plug-in speeds, and value versus rivals also sits at 3 stars simply because of that steep entry price.
So let's break down exactly who this EV is best for. If you are a buyer seeking top-tier luxury combined with genuinely powerful EV performance, this vehicle is going to thrill you. It's also absolutely perfect for drivers who desperately need spacious 3-row seating, or families who prioritize a quiet, ultra-comfortable cabin over pure battery efficiency. And of course, if you highly value the prestige of driving a Cadillac, and you're a fan of advanced driver assists like Super Cruise, you are going to love having a Vistiq in your driveway.
On the flip side, who might want to look elsewhere? Well, if you're someone demanding the absolute longest possible range or the fastest charging speeds because you're constantly on road trips, you should probably explore other options. Consumers who are heavily focused on value and pure efficiency over luxury might find that 80 grand plus price tag a tough pill to swallow. And finally, tech-centric buyers who require a totally seamless software experience or drivers who absolutely refuse to live without Apple CarPlay will likely find this particular ecosystem a bit frustrating.
And that leaves us with one final massive question to chew on. Are brand prestige, supreme comfort, and raw power worth the premium price in today's incredibly crowded EV market? Look, the Cadillac Vistiq offers a beautifully refined ride and thrilling drop-your-iPad acceleration, but the compromises in charging speed and smartphone connectivity are very real. Ultimately, you have to weigh what matters most for your daily life. Take this knowledge with you as you shop around, and we will see you in the next explainer.